The shirt plastic is so tough, and then you simply cut or puncture it and pow. That's it. Cross-reference United States of America top-down economy. So grassroots, bottom up. This is the gray one, I think. The arms feel shorter. You awake, Mecca? We're gonna go for a little walk. Good, Mecca. Hi. Perfect. Be awake, Mecca. How are you? Good morning. One, two, three. Timer. I didn't erase this. Oh. Okay. I gotta come back and go to work. Empty out bags. Empty out bags. Newspaper bags. What about there's supposed to be a lot more of those. Wow. 80 tall kitchen bags. Okay. Timer, logger, empty out bags, leash, hi, Mecca. Come on. Let's go outside. Breathe deeply. Come on, Mecca. Come on, Mecca. Come on. Oh. Is the stove clear? Good, Mecca. Good, Mecca. Stay. Mecca. Good, Mecca. Good, Mecca. Good, Mecca. Here. That's good. Good. The first steps. Soon we'll be able to do it without the leash, inshallah. Good, Mecca. Oh. Tone and tome. T-O-M-E. It's missing one N. Yeah, perfect. Here are the workers, Mecca. Good, perfect guard, Mecca. Now be quiet. Oh, why you gurring? Just in case? Hi. Alhamdulillah, how are you? Mashallah, mashallah, alhamdulillah. It's the federal family. How are you? Ready to guide the national service workers? Ready to lead the way for the volunteers? Perfect sit, Mecca. What time do you think it is? It's 2:33. Wow. You want to say hi? Wow, there's a big truck. Hi. My dog wanted to say hi.
I don't know how the hell he could move his arm that fast. But he did, man. Crazy. Yeah, but he had an uppercut. Well, you seen that Aboriginal guy up in New York Avenue that used to be there all the time, shaking hands with barbecue box. I heard something about it, but I didn't know. Yeah, he was there for years, man. I haven't seen him. I mean, it's probably been maybe 6 years. I think last year there was a homeless community up on that hill there. Oh, okay. Right across where that Home Depot's at? Yeah. And they cleared all that out. I think it's where it's
A guy slept under the U.S. Capitol steps for years. His name was like Casey or something. You being possessive of your turf? What is this, Mecca? That's a worker. That's a person with a hoodie. You've never seen that before, huh? You're still young. Wow, doesn't this look restored? It looks like the original. I mentioned I saw Neil Young drive a pickup truck in here with 3 bags of dog food, only one of which was open. The next thing I knew, they tore the whole place up, but it looks like they planned that a long time before I posted about that. Neil Young is one of the biggest heroin addicts in the world. He drive it into the Supreme Court with 3 bags of dog food. Jerry Garcia. Duke Ellington said he never used that stuff until he got really old because he didn't want to mess up his family. LSD, I think he was talking about.
Jerry Garcia?
Yeah, Jerry Garcia.
Yeah, I bet it was LSD.
He got hooked on heroin. Bobby Weir, too, I think. They wrote a song, Patience Runs Out on the Junkie. They had another one, Am I the Victim or the Crime? Here, Rehnquist was excusing himself from the cases, going behind the curtain during the oral arguments, ostensibly to smoke a cigarette. Now we got a methadone clinic's daughter, Sotomayor, on the bench. Olympic thinker drug test, rational drug laws for everyone. Take it easy, I'll try to be ready. Good luck to you too. See, they wanted to powwow, and you got us to come over here, huh? Good Mecca. I wouldn't have come over because they were smoking cigarettes and hanging out like they didn't want to be bothered. There used to be a mulch pile right where the sheetrock is. A shed. Now there's going to be a lip on the sidewalk. Well, maybe it'll come up flush with the tiles. All this. So maybe that's not Michael Dell. His photo was on the internet scroll. Maybe Delbert is a Glover Roberts family member. What? A combination of the two families, it feels like. He knows about justice and he knows about computers. Face the oncoming traffic. Listen for cars. Hey, here comes a car. Yeah, perfect. Here the car, Mecca. Hungry. Ate a lot of rice and Brussels sprouts, some corn. You want to go over this way? We're trying to go over this way and find our friend here. Comes the car now. Hi. I got this for you. Hi! Or stop, I could have said. Guess I wasn't quite ready enough. Hi! Hi! I wrote that officer an apology from 2 nights ago. I wanted to give it to him. That's kind of what I was doing out there.
Okay.
And then I wrote you guys, the U.S. Capitol Police Board, a letter. So I thought I'd give him a copy of that too to show him I'm not just picking on him. I'm trying to work with everybody.
Gotcha. He'll be back around.
All right, great.
Back and forth all night.
Yeah, I didn't want to like say stop again because that's kind of what happened last time. So I just said hi and I'll keep walking around. Maybe I'll find him again.
Okay.
Thanks. As unto you. Hi. Hi. A cheerful, alert officer, open, comprehending, responsive. He'll be back around again. Yeah. What are you smelling, Mecca? Say a prayer. And I don't have the paperwork still. Where is it? Perfect, empty your bladder, Mecca. Wow, good, Mecca. Good, Mecca. Practicing being off the leash, huh? You went around the bush so I'd have to let go. You want to go over to those steps over there? Go to the steps. Go up the steps. Stop and wait there. You really look at what's really there. And you look again. Wheelbarrow, upside down with no wheels on it. A low boy kind of blown out with some rusted reinforcement. A really old piece of equipment here, a cement hopper. This is supposed to be commentary on the U.S. Supreme Court justices and their age, or what? Here's a young front-end loader like Justice Roberts himself, aligned with the curb and almost on Quibla. Here's a folded piece of paper, like a booklet. In an interesting way. Also like the way we used to fold up cocaine with paper packets. Cross-reference Peter Dana. And who else? That's about one other person I knew. Who else? I could never afford cocaine. It was like $100 a gram, and a gram would last a short time. LSD was like $5 a hit. It lasted all day. This double folds back so like it folds open, turning inside out kind of thing. What else does it do? Has a picture printed on one side. It rolls up. Breakfast meeting at ISNA convention. Rolls up. I have a lip on it here. Oh, what? And it folded double. And it folded this way. Oh, what do you smell? This is like me finding the paper. You're exploring the smell. Three breaths, Mecca. One breath. Two breaths. Perfect. Three breaths, Mecca. AFP. Florida busted. A bunch of mayors in Florida got busted. Like 6 mayors, I think I read once. Not on Twitter, but on probably the Post or the Times. Bicycle. Cool. Evening. Sleep. More booklets. 7 a.m. or simply 7 o'clock. You want to go over there? You got to get the bicycle to go over there, Mecca. And here's a pallet. Heavy duty blue cable or hose or what. And this is like a book or the booklet where you put your paw. And some kind of rag for maintenance, keep stuff clean. There's an officer over here, Mecca. Good, Mecca. Yeah. You want to play? Huh. Come on. Let's see if we can talk to this person. Hi. Okay, thanks. How are you? Glad to hear it. I wrote an apology to your fellow officer, the guy who drives the white SUV. I just saw him driving by over here. I kind of said hi. I tried to show him I had the... Yeah, but he kept going, so I thought I'd come over here and see what I should do. It might be embarrassing for him for me to hand it to him directly, but I wrote an apology and a requested remedy. And then I have this other one called Good Cops Test Other Cops and Help Recruit. So this way I thought if I offered him the two, he would realize I wasn't just picking on him 2 nights ago or whatever that was. This is a letter I actually wrote and faxed and mailed to the U.S. Capitol Police Board. Here's his picture. You probably know him.
Oh, yeah.
He's basically a quiet, nice guy, because I've seen him over the years. And he kind of saved the day. He didn't arrest me. Here's his picture here.
Yep, that's him.
Yeah. So maybe to be...
I can pass it on to him.
Okay, cool. Great. Thanks a lot.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hopefully he'll understand. I tried to highlight in red the things he did right and explain why I got so upset, because I was worried about on the internet and everything people could misunderstand what happened. Okay, you notice Mecca being careful?
Yeah.
Good. And how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm up at 2:30 and I'm cheerful and happy. The chairman of the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee accepted, he walked by while I was waiting to go into his meeting. I said, I have a treaty, sir. And he took a copy of the treaty for Syria.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
yeah. Mecca's doing pretty well. Has a sort of a nervous tick in the face with the breathing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, see how the lips kind of quiver?
Uh-huh.
It seems more than normal sometimes, and one person said, well, it's normal, it's the breathing. What do you think?
I guess. Such a rare dog. I mean, you don't see these kind of dogs every day.
Yeah. But, you know, happy, cheerful, disposition still good, health is still good,
yeah.
so...
Plenty of exercise, I see.
Now that the weather's cooled some, but we got high-centered back there in July. Ooh, I didn't move for a few days, and the dogs, you gotta move, and the dog just hung in there, you know, go out, go to the bathroom, come back in.
Yeah.
Never whimpering inside, never complaining. If things got really bad, would go into the bathroom and empty out in the bathroom where you're supposed to and come back in. So I couldn't ask for a better dog in that regard. The one thing we're working on is jumping up all excited to play with the other.
That's every dog, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I figure that's the will to live. The dog has to wait all day to come out. Why squelch that? Should be able to turn it on and turn it off. There's our buddy there. That's
my push.
Oh, okay.
That's my buddy.
Well,
so
we'll let you go then, I guess.
Alrighty, you have a good evening.
Yes, unto you.
And I'll pass your information on to that officer.
Thanks for completing the circle.
You're welcome.
You're going to stand guard here, Mecca? Good. Look how everything's getting cleaned with the equipment and everything. Good, Mick. Aye. Come on, Mecca. Good. Good. Good, Mecca. Doesn't it smell? Here's the ramp going in. Showed how to hold his hand up when you were trying to explain something. Three breaths, Mecca. There used to be a tree here, now it's gone. One breath. Hi.
Hey Bill, how you doing?
Okay, thanks. How are you?
Not bad at all.
Well, glad to hear it for 2:30 in the morning. Hey, that's pretty modern. Look at that. Good.
Yeah, so we can get equipment in and out.
But watch out for the super glue. I found something called Goof Off.
Yeah.
You can put it on there and it melts the super glue.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mess with super glue very often, but boy, I tell you, if it gets on your fingers, something else.
Yeah, yeah. I always worry, 20 people with little pepper spray things of super glue come in, lock us all in on all these things. Cars' doors won't open, barriers won't go down. Don't fence me in, sort of thing.
Yipper.
And how's your family?
Oh, everybody's fine.
Good. One officer said I should keep in touch with my family at least once a year. I neglected them. I made them too nervous. You can imagine.
Yeah.
So I tried to get back in touch with them. Now my brother wants to. He won't make a trust for the family farm. He was the child who was given the farm because he was the most worldly. My sister's a professor, but she's pretty practical. I mean, has to grade a lot of papers, had to wait tables, but he's in the real estate business. And he won't make a trust fund to put his two children and her daughter as the owners of the farm to protect it. Then they can give him a letter of credit, if he needs it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, G2, go ahead and do the East Capitol. How's the dog doing?
Pretty well. In July, we got hit by that heat.
Yeah.
And I think Mecca got a little facial tick.
All right, those work, thank you.
But responsive, maybe get to the point where able to obey without the leash. What's that, Mecca? Fence. Remember the fence? I remember coming down here with that dolly and the dog cage and the 3 puppies and showing them the fence. The other 2 are up in the Boston area now. I had to adopt them out. And how's everything?
Can't complain. We're moving along.
Okay. Well, that's why we had General Pace come in about the rate of change. Keep the pace. He was the first U.S. Marine chairman of the Joint Chiefs. I said, how come we've never had a U.S. Marine chairman? They said there's too small a branch of the service. Yeah, so then within 2 years we got General Pace. So it shows if you ask and you care, simply talking with whoever comes by, it's amazing.
Sometimes it happens, yep.
Yeah.
Go to 2nd Street.
Come on, Mecca. Good. Face the oncoming traffic. Metro Transit. Did you read about the Metro derailing on red line again?
No, I haven't seen that one. That seems to be happening more and more.
Yeah, right near my storage area.
Oh. Go ahead and get the last one here on top of South Drive.
Right when I was supposed to go there.
Yeah, it tends to make traffic bad.
They killed a operator the first time. They may have closed 2 of my units and I lost some stuff without even knowing. I've just been sending them like $1,000 a month. Pay my units, you know, instead of having a detailed list for this unit, and that unit. So they may, I don't know. God is greater. It's my fault. I worry though. The Metro, they get their money from the government and then they send some money back to the government if they make it.
Right. Which they never do.
Yeah, it seems they should have to account for all their money, hand it in, and then as much money as they give is part of the formula for how much they get compensated for any more. So those tickets, when you're done, they eat the ticket, you don't get a receipt. There's all this temptation for graft and corruption because it's not set up for them to account for all their money in order to get more.
Yeah. All right, Bill, I'm going to head back in. I'll catch you later.
Yeah, God willing, I hope. Thanks for your community policing.
All right, sir. Take care.
You too. I'll try to be ready. Bicycle. Good neck. Bag and a laundry bag. Wow, a rug. Didn't buy a rug on sale. Got a rug in storage. Okay, good mix. All right, Mecca. Oh, yeah, it's a lot of work to paw the ground, huh? You want to be off the leash for this distance, huh? Okay, good. Perfect. Find the trash, Mecca. Now, come on. That's good. 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 Good, Mike. Good, Mike. Good, Mike. Good. You looking for your friend, huh? I think they're inside. Hi. Mecca's looking for Mecca's friend, but I think the dog is inside, Mecca. How are you?
Good, how about you?
I saw a long article on cosmology in the New York Times after the last time we spoke. We talked a little bit about independence and stand alone or stand with and what your idea of God might be and stuff. And then the next day in the New York Times was a big article on cosmology, the theory of the universe. I didn't read it too carefully yet, but when I was younger, I read that kind of thing a lot. I sort of outgrew that vocabulary. So I thought you'd be interested in cosmology because of the interest you had in stand with or stand alone, whose choice to what degree. And how are you?
Good, how about you?
Good, okay, giving my dog some exercise. Apologize to a U.S. Supreme Court police officer for yelling at him the other night. But I wanted to make sure, you know, no one could reasonably misunderstand a police officer behaving in a cowardly way. And he proved himself, you know, after I pounded on the window and made him stop his car and address the issue, he came out and he did a good job. But at first he sort of wanted just to drive off and ignore it, you know. Thank God he didn't arrest me. And then today, when I was in line to go into the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee meeting about Syria, the chairman, Mendez, walked by. I said, Chairman Mendez, would you like a treaty? And he took one. So things are looking up. After all these years of doing unpaid, unofficial volunteer work, people are starting to respond at the overt level. So I'm pretty happy about all that. But we gotta exercise and take another nap so when 7 o'clock arrives, we're ready. But it looks like you guys are on the night shift too. How's it going for you? Are you able to...
We're on the night shift, I guess?
Yeah, it's 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning here. My grandfather was at Princeton University. The bar would close at 11 or midnight. So they'd order 100 beers, like at 11:30, and then they'd drink until 2 or 3 in the morning. Because the bar closed at midnight, but they ordered 100 beers. Well, maybe for food, shelter, clothing, and savings, it's a good idea, but watch out for alcohol. Not every, well, maybe you can handle it. I was a college alcoholic. Fortunately, I had a good roommate and a tolerant university and stuff. But this is a result of my college alcoholism. I drank a beer with my psychophysiology class and then went to wrestling practice. Okay, Mecca, we didn't find your friend. I don't mean to intrude overly in your conversation. Anything else you or I need to know?
No, I'm always intrigued to hear more about you, actually.
Okay.
I'm actually glad that things are starting to do good. You mentioned somebody you handed the... So what's up about Syria?
Instead of USA daycare for civil war, you know, fight nice, no gas. Fight nice. If you use gas, we're going to give you a spanking. Hit you with a couple of cruise missiles. That's what they're doing now. Instead of that, Exodus 2, like in the Bible, Exodus 2, reverse osmosis. Are you familiar with what that is?
No, can you fill us in, please?
Like the Israelis, when they want to get fresh water out of the salt water, they use reverse osmosis and they pull the water through a filter and the salt stays on one side, they get fresh water on the other side. So apply that to Syria. Exodus 2, anyone who wants to leave the country, Syria, US, Russia will agree you can leave the country. No ID needed. No permission. Anybody can leave.
But you can't return.
Right. If you want to go in towards Damascus, you got to have permission. You got to show your card. And that way we separate them. Already 10% of the country is left. If we get this Exodus 2 program going, maybe another 2 million people would leave. That would be 20% of their country would be like in Canada or Mexico. Then they can all get organized outside of the country with limited liability companies like the Alaska Native Land Claims Settlement Act of 1973 that we had here. Then we can partition Syria like North Carolina and South Carolina, or Virginia and West Virginia. And you'd have like East Syria and West Syria. And then it'd be like
Germany.
Germany, exactly. And then 5 generations from now, we can have a reunification vote in 2113. And President Assad would be like Governor Cuomo, accepting the mayorship of New York. Instead of being governor of all of New York, he'd be like mayor of New York, like Bloomberg, an important, smaller area. So Exodus 2 is this plan. Instead of hitting the beehive, be good, you know, hitting them. And then all the bees get stirred up, and the next thing you know, some guy come down the street here, try to blow up our neighborhood because we hit them in Damascus. Instead of that, we say, look, we'll work with you. We want your tribe to survive. You've been doing this a long time, but it looks like you can't hold down the whole state, so we'll get you a smaller part of it. We'll move the beehive. And then Russia will know they still have a port on the Mediterranean. I call it Exodus 2 instead of USA daycare for civil war. And they seem to be liking it, but man, that's no boots on the ground, you know. It's a matter of...
No boots on the ground means missiles.
Yeah, right. Don't get Americans at risk. It would really take... Assad and those people to say, hey, this is a great idea. Anyone can leave our country. Only people we give permission can come in towards Damascus. Is it worth it to us to take a smaller part of our country? If they say yeah, and they really get behind it, then the UN or Jordan or Turkey, they can go in with boots on the ground because, you know, the government's not trying to mess it up. They want it. Because they were worried, a lot of drug dealers and real radicals are coming in trying to take over the revolution of the local people, so that, you know, when the smoke clears, the weathermen and the SDS, and, well, that's in the 60s, you probably don't know about them, but the radicals end up, so it helps clear the water. You filter out people. Anyone can leave. If you don't leave and you're trying to go towards Damascus and you don't have permission, you're in a lot of trouble, because everybody's agreed at this point that, so instead of fighting to determine who's going to control the country, you leave. You vote with your feet. Then you end up saying, look, 5 million people left your country. There's already 2 million that have left. 1 million children, 1 million adults have left Syria. So after this Exodus 2 treaty, say another 2 or 3 million leave. That's like 5 million people have left the country with a total population of only 20 million people. That's a quarter of their country. That would be like 50 million Americans leaving the country. You vote with your feet instead of with bullets and guns and fighting and beating each other to grab this or that turf. You leave. And then the international community says, look, come on, a quarter of your country left. You got to subdivide, man. You got to give them some area. And you take a smaller piece, you and Russia, and you can have your port. And we'll work with it. Then they love you. You're not trying to beat them into the ground and kill them and exterminate their tribe. They love you. You help save the day. You save their face. Yeah, they end up with a little less, but hey, times are a-changing. And we still got our port city, and we saved our face. And so now, instead of after that, they send a guy down this street. He says, hey, you got to do this or that to protect your area better. Thanks for helping us over there. Instead of them saying, how can we get back at them? That's what I'm trying to do. Does it make sense to you?
It does.
All right, good.
It just kind of hurts to hear the fact that it's like pretty fucked up.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's the words I want to use right now. It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, well, it's traditional when you have kids, when they fight, you know, Tommy's got my toy! Tommy's got my toy! Make Tommy give me my toy back! Instead of saying, you know, I'm leaving and I want you to come with me, Sue and Fred, and we'll go over here and play, and then Tommy has my toy, but when Mom and Dad get back from the movies, we're going to straighten this out, because there's 3 of us, and they'll say, why aren't you in your room playing? Because Tommy's got our toy. And then the parents and the kids will go in together and straighten it out. Instead of the U.S. afraid to touch anybody over there because they don't know who's who or what's what, yeah, everyone leave till they and get to know each other around the perimeter, and then go back in together.
I know, like, there's been, like, Egypt that's been going through rough times right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know that, France is actually about to enter Egypt to protect the fact that, because there's, the Nile, there's a lot of, like, oil that goes through that helps provide to France and to European Union. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, Libya was all about the oil in Italy and France, and making sure their supply wasn't cut off. I'm not sure Egypt has that much oil, but they have the Suez Canal, and they are worried about the shipping. I think it's like international money and popular culture. Sisi, the general over there in Egypt, but then he may be sophisticated enough, so he's saying, well, The popular culture, the kids, the Rolling Stone magazine crowd in Egypt, the guys who listen to music on the radio and stuff, they weren't ready for the elections. But the Muslim Brotherhood had been feeding the poor people for generations under Mubarak. The Muslim Brotherhood had been like the Catholic workers out there helping the poor people day and night. They had the homeless shelters and the food lines and the free clinic. You got sick, you went to the Muslim Brotherhood clinic. So they were ready